Hey everyone, skull902 here. It's been a little bit. It's been over a week since the last stream, so I just kind of wanted to do something here and hang out and everything. It's going to be a quick little run of Sonic 1 with Knuckles, uh, specifically the 2005 Stealth ROM hack. Not Sonic Origins. Um, so yeah, hi Swift, hi Spidey. Spidey says, well, now I gotta change my plans for today. Just because I'm streaming? I don't think you gotta change your whole plans for today because of that. Uh, but I'm glad you're here, though. Want me to introduce to my joke OC Oxel Dogs? Alright, go right on ahead. Uh, no guests currently, but for those who are in my stream server, I'm in the VC, so do feel free to waltz in. So yeah, we're gonna switch it over to Kega Fusion and turn the game on and all that. So let me know how you guys have been doing today. As for me, could be a little better. Got some muscle pain right now. Because I was an idiot. Last night before bed, I tried to move my mattress in like a really awkward, jerky way, so I hurt my back a bit.
Hey,
Uh, I'm hearing someone.
it's me. kUko.
Hold on. Yeah. Oh, Yancey, you're in. Okay. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You're really quiet.
Oh no, that was probably just weird audio mixing.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I saw that you were live, and I was like, oh, I'm off today.
Hey, there you go. You know, I was thinking about you earlier because had I not hurt my back yesterday, like the whole reason why I'm doing Knuckles and Sonic 1 is because it's short. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine like having to sit up straight like the whole time with the way that I'm feeling right now with because I was gonna be like, we still haven't done Sonic 3, so I almost asked you if you wanted to do that today, but the muscles in my back had some other plans.
Oh, it's fine. I wasn't ready to do Sonic 3 anyways.
Yeah, I haven't done any training for it either.
Which version of Sonic 3 would you be interested in racing? Wait,
Well, we've been doing the Genesis versions up to this point.
just
So,
vanilla 3 and K?
yeah.
And I guess after that,
Unless if maybe you wanted to do Sonic 3 complete just to have Sonic fighting the big arms.
how about we do like either a Tails or a Knuckles run in 3 complete? Like on the run backs.
Are you sure you would want to race Knuckles? Because, he's got less zones and stuff.
He's got what?
Because Knuckles has less zones, so you're not doing as much of the game with him, you know?
No, I mean like we'll race Sonic in vanilla 3 and K, and then we do say like the big arm stuff like on a separate race.
I see.
Like as in we're probably eventually
so
going
like a best 2 of 3, you're saying?
kind of. I mean I eventually intend on racing every character in all the games. I eventually want to race CD.
Oh yeah, CD and Mania would be interesting ones to do as well. Wait a second, I had the game paused and I didn't add your fucking name to the title. Lucky Tails, welcome in. Welcome into the stream, my dude.
And how would you want to do 3 and K? Do you want to just do all Chaos Emeralds or all Super Emeralds or just vanilla?
we went all Chaos Emeralds for the other games, so I would think like probably a Super Emeralds run just to stay consistent.
And we can just use Hypersonic, and we just don't get Hypersonic until near the end of the game anyways, so it'll be fine, I think. Because we don't really have an option to turn off Super Vanilla.
Yeah. Although, you're saying you can't get Hypersonic do you not know the Mushroom Hill?
No, I know the trick, but I'm just saying if we were in a racing sense, if we didn't want to hang around in Mushroom Hill.
Well, you know, you did Emerald Hill that way last time, so.
Yeah, and it kind of I always get very self-conscious about doing that for the sake of the viewers.
Yeah, honestly, it's not as intrusive, I think, to do it in
yeah,
Mushroom Hill
it's nowhere near as bad as 3 and K because you don't start out the game with just special stage, every special stage in the game.
Yeah,
3 and Knuckles is a bit more spaced out.
I was about to say, like, it helps that the zones are bigger. Stitch, hello, welcome. To Lucky Tales, this is kUko Chad or Yancy. He's a bit of a newer co-host to the channel, but
I've been watching for a long time, so it's fine.
Yeah, a lot longer than I had anticipated. I remember a recent stream you were on, and you were like, "Yeah, I've been watching since like 2015." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, no, it was the Labyrinth Zone part of the initial Sonic 1 playthrough.
Man, it's kind of nuts that you can, or well, you know what, never mind what I was about to say, because I also have really
photographic memory.
Yeah, a really specific memory like that, so it's not a new concept to me whatsoever.
Oh, I need to share your screen. I'm looking at the YouTube stream. Oh, here we go. It is impressive that they managed to actually ROM hack Knuckles into that Stealth managed to do that with like very little compromise.
Yeah, you know, it is pretty interesting how he was able to get that together. But honestly, like when you see what the solution was, you kind of like.
Yeah,
you kind of smack your head and think,
red
oh,
palette.
Yeah, you know, just remove 2 shades of red and change the color.
And this
of
is
the
Sega
top.
we're talking about. You know, either that or they just didn't have the tech or the know-how to do it at the time. But
yeah, they could have just been in a space where they just hadn't thought of like maybe
alter some palettes.
You know, I can see from Sega's perspective maybe that they didn't want Knuckles to, because like. You know, you remove 2 of the shades of red from him. His sprite looks pretty different in this game, like shade-wise to 3 and K. So maybe they were like, well, I'm sure they didn't necessarily think of this solution, but had they thought of it back in the day, maybe they thought that Knuckles would have just like looked too different.
Yeah, maybe they were, I guess, still kind of anal about the branding, probably. It was like, hey, let's have Knuckles look like Knuckles. We don't want to have him not look like Knuckles.
Yeah.
By the way, what version of CD would you want to do? Would you want to do the... Because I really don't... I don't want to play the Mega CD version. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I was about to say, easily the Whitehead version.
Do you want to do 2011, or do you want to do... the Origins port with Amy and all that stuff and all those added.
Origins would probably be like the convenient option at this point.
Yeah, I would like to do Origins specifically, and so that way we can have consistency between like doing a Sonic race and then an Amy race and a Knuckles race and a Tails race when we get to those.
Yeah.
I would love to race the Origins like story mode.
Oh my god.
Like the entire merit, maybe as a charity event.
Yeah, that'd be a you know, it's a marathon, but I have done it on stream before, so
I've done it twice on recordings.
Yeah, not like the origin story mode, but I've definitely played all those games and
Back to
Mania
back.
back to back. Yeah.
I mean, I've done that before. I've actually done like a big classic Sonic marathon where I start with Sonic 1 8-bit, then Sonic 2, not Sonic 2. Sonic 1 8-bit, Sonic 1 16-bit, Sonic 2 8-bit, Sonic 2 16-bit,
Oh
then
man.
Sonic before the sequel, Sonic after the sequel, then Sonic
Wow.
3 Knuckles, then Sonic CD, and then Mania. And then I did Mania at launch when that came out because I like built up to it.
God damn.
And I did that within a span of about 12 hours, I want to say.
Yeah, like to do the main 4 from like the original, I think takes around like 6 hours. Or at least that's how long I remember it taking me. So
4 hours for you? Really? That's pretty fast.
no, like because I think it was like 6, maybe 6.5.
Oh, 6. Okay, 6 hours. I was about to say 3 and K alone's pretty long.
Yeah, because Sonic 1 and 2 take around an hour each. CD's more like an hour and a half if you're going for the robot
generators. If you're going for time stones, then it's about as long as Sonic 1, probably in between 1 and 2 in terms of length.
If you're going for the bad ending, it takes...
It's over 30 minutes.
It's like half an hour because those levels are so vertical.
Sonic 1 100% for me takes about 40-ish minutes.
Yeah,
Sonic 2 100%, you've seen, at least by the route I took, it took about maybe an hour.
Yeah.
And that was me not having practice in a long time. By the way, did you know that I actually did not practice for Sonic 2?
Oh, you didn't?
I practiced like one run of it. So I'm surprised I did as well as I did. Because I was just going by muscle memory with Sonic 2.
Yeah. I've played these games so much it really is just all muscle memory for me.
3 and K I don't need to practice for. I know that for a fact. Maybe I'll practice maybe Sandopolis. But I know 3 and K like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
It's my favorite game ever. I know it very, very well. And I know many, many different backup strats.
Yeah.
If something somehow goes awry.
3 and K, I have like the level design, you know, pretty well memorized. It's just a case of like, because now I've gotten so used to conserving the super and hyper powers, but like, you know, in a race setting, obviously I want to be faster.
Yeah, you want to go.
So like,
yeah, you want to use hyper because we're going to be under the assumption that we use hyper.
Yeah, you know, so then it's like I have to play like I used to.
Yeah, just beeline for emeralds.
And like I get the emeralds as soon as I can get them.
Well, I get
but
super as soon
like,
as I can. I get super by the end of Hydro City Act 2.
Yeah, same. I totally get the Chaos Emerald and the Super Emeralds like as soon as I can possibly get them. But like in terms of just using the ability, I've been doing it less as I've gotten more skilled at the game.
Yeah, no, I barely use because I'm one of those people that loves messing around with the elemental shields and like doing like sick parkour tricks off walls.
And I do be loving me the sense of speed, but...
Yeah, that fire dash, the double jump from the thunder shield. Oh, those are great.
Oh, happy birthday to your uncle, Swift.
Happy birthday. But yeah, no, like my end goal in life is like by the time I'm 80, I want to be as good as like Tassers are at 3 and K.
Oh man. Imagine having those reflexes at 80 years old, though.
I mean, it's a pipe dream, but I at least want to be good at that at some point in my life.
And nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you've seen me play 3 and K before.
Yeah.
30 lives by the end of the second zone. That was me playing very, very slowly and methodically because I was trying to prove a point.
Yeah, that's actually nuts. Skull902, did you see the new Superman look? Did they finally reveal it? Because as far as I know, all we have is the teaser.
Well, Lucky Tales, it's just a weird coincidence. Well, a mixture of a weird coincidence and also like a weird family thing over the Caesar. There's a whole story behind the Caesar name.
Ooh, lore.
Well, it's a lot of it's very private, but let's just say I'm
Yeah.
not the first one that took the name kUko in the family.
Oh,
As
they
in,
did
it
reveal
belonged to
it.
somebody else before me.
A time-honored tradition.
Well, not really. Well, at this point, I'm kind of the first generation to reuse the name a second time.
You know,
For
that's
an online
perfectly
handle.
okay.
Yeah, I'll maybe tell Skull about it off stream, maybe.
If you're comfortable.
I mean, I've told people about it before. I just don't say it in public. So when we do the Knuckles race, would you actually prefer to do this ROM hack for it? For Sonic 1? Or would you prefer like Origins or maybe Sonic Classic Heroes? Sonic Classic Heroes would be an interesting game to race.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think about that one. That'd be no, we should race Sonic Classic Heroes in Chaotix mode with the ring tether.
Oh god, with the ring tether? Holy shit.
We have to get at least one set of emeralds by the end of Sonic 1 and 2.
Oh dear lord.
And we have to have all three of our partners with us in the Sonic 2 special stages.
Christ.
Oh, you sound very excited about that one.
The tether and the friends and
AI
special
partners
stage.
in the
Yeah.
special stages. I think there's actually a thing on Fightcade that actually lets you play Sonic Classic Heroes in co-op.
That'd be pretty cool.
Just
well,
the two of us hooked up to ring tethers.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting idea for sure. Okay, just calmly.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly calm on this special stage specifically.
This one's a bit tricky.
During the race.
It can very easily fuck you over.
Yeah, no, that race though, that was a fucking anomaly. I haven't messed up special stages like that in a long time, since I was a child, I think. Calmly, Skull. Be careful, Skull. Be careful, Skull. Be careful. Ah! Careful, Skull. Okay.
Ooh,
You are very calm.
You're trying to get in my ear. I'm just like, I gotta try.
Be careful. Be
Yeah.
careful, Skull. I should do that for the blue spheres when it starts getting fast in the later Super Emerald stages where you gotta where it bounces you back.
Oh boy.
I should just scream in your ear when you do it.
Well, that's not very sportsmanlike.
No, I should.
Oh.
Hey man, we're doing street rules now.
That little bastard.
Yeah, what a little fucking bastard. I mean, would you be interested in doing it like next Sunday?
Oh shit! Next Sunday is the
Oh,
next
yeah.
902 RL competition.
Yeah, that might be a. Yeah, that's probably a next time. Maybe Monday. Maybe next time this week. Maybe. Possibly.
Hopefully my my sleep cycle's still in for it.
I mean, either way. I mean, or it could be the next week after that, or the next week, or the next. Again, I don't really have this pinned down in any schedules. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like when one of us feels like doing it.
Yeah, it's always a bit tricky with me and plans because of my wacky ass sleep cycle.
Who knows? Maybe, to be fair though, I haven't played through 3 Knuckles yet this year. I'll probably do my annual playthrough like a week before it, just to kind of make sure I refresh my memory on it.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah, be careful of that little path right there. They like to.
I really
Tricky
thought that
with it.
I really thought that I stopped in time. Oh well. Skull, did you blow up Alderaan? No.
Yes.
Sonic Boom Fan 1995, welcome. Oh fuck.
I'll never forget the one time where I literally played 3 and K. Like I'm talking 100%, like a Sonic and Tails and Knuckles playthrough, and then another Sonic playthrough right after that in the same day. I'll never forget when I did that.
That's some.
I think I was like 14 at the time when that happened.
God damn.
Yeah, no, I like 100%ed it. I basically like it was a fresh cartridge too. It was actually my first time I think playing the American version.
Man. That's pretty nuts.
I actually have that card on me right now still. I actually have it next to me.
Sonic Boom fan, I'd rather not read that out loud.
Sonic Boom. I don't see any message from Sonic Boom fan.
Huh. YouTube didn't tell me that they marked it for review. So I don't know. Do you have top chat or live chat selected?
I have top chat.
Okay, so it's
Maybe
probably
on
not.
live chat, maybe?
Yeah, live chat shows everything. Top chat doesn't show everything.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything from Sonic Boom fan 1998.
Huh.
Yeah, see, Ultimate Spidey Plush, you know, he's saying I don't see any Sonic Boom fan anywhere either.
Weird.
How interesting. How utterly fascinating. YouTube's a good site without any problems about reading chat.
I apologize, by the way, Sonic Boom fan. It's just, I don't know if you're joking or not.
You know, it leaves me in a spot in a hard place. Come on, get 100 rings. I know you want to. There we go.
Hey,
Okay,
man,
that's
you
good.
know,
Now
Knuckles
this
allows me to climb
satisfying.
back up to this secret area. So, I mean, you know, gotta take it.
There we go. Ooh, yeah, I can't wait for the Sonic 1 run back race.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh, ah, ting ting. Want a lot of bing bang.
Oh, you know it.
I was on Goodwie's stream last night and I was just ranting about Paper Mario and how much I hated the fan base. Like, I was just ranting. I looked back at that stream this morning. I was like, I was really mean.
Oh, man. I mean, you know, as long as it was, you know, lighthearted and
No, it was
jokey
lighthearted, but it's like, you know, my opinions on it, I genuinely felt about it. It's like Thousand Year Door fans are like genuinely some of the most insufferable people I've ever met. They are never happy about anything. I'm like, imagine living your life being a Thousand Year Door fan.
I mean, from what I've seen of the game, it's
No, it's
pretty
good, but
enjoyable.
but a lot of Thousand Year Door fans act like that's the only good Paper Mario. It's like the N64 game's good. Super Paper Mario's good.
Honestly, I've never seen that that discourse before, so I wouldn't know, but
No, it's not all Thousand Year Door fans. Most Thousand Year Door fans are actually fairly nice. It's just you go on social media and you just look at Thousand Year Door fans, and it's like, you know, people call Mario 3 fans kind of obnoxious in some ways, but it's like, no, Thousand Year Door fans are much worse than like 3 fans.
and I didn't know about all this Mario drama.
Oh no, there's a lot of. To be fair though, now the SMW and the SMB3 fans, now they get along, because it's like they know that both their games are good.
Yeah, those are some all-time classics right there.
Yeah, those are like top dogs in the Mario community, as well as just general quality of the games. We gotta race Mario World one day.
Oh, dude.
Gotta race Mario 3 as well.
I would be so fucking down for a Mario World race.
Yeah, man. Do you want to like play the All-Stars version just for the sake of a little bit of difference?
Yeah, that's the one I have offhand anyway.
So do you want to just do a thing whereas we both have like each individual game and we just do our own strats to get to the end, just no Star Road?
Oh,
or do you want to do like a full 96 exit thing?
You know, because like most years I'm gonna be playing Super Mario World on Christmas. That'd be kind of an interesting way to
Christmas special.
Yeah, because like I like everyone's heard me say this like a million times already, but you know, Super Mario World in the All Stars cart is like what got me into gaming.
See, the original All-Stars cart is actually what got me in the game because Plus World never came out in Japan, but even then I actually had the American version of All-Stars first, and it was just the regular All-Stars cart, and that was the first game I ever played in my life.
Yeah, I got my copy as a gift from one of my mom's friends for Christmas.
How old were you?
I was 7.
I was 3. I got All-Stars very early.
Yeah. So we got that Christmas Day 2001 with our Super Nintendo, and that cart, man, is responsible for me being a gamer.
A lot of late nights were spent with me in that game. Like, I would literally stay up late at night. Like,
yeah, man.
In my room, very quietly, TV all the way turned down, playing SMW and like the All-Stars card as well.
Hell yeah.
Because I grew up with Japanese SMW. I had a Japanese card of SMW, but I had an American card of All-Stars. So, in America, my first console was the American Super Nintendo. But luckily, my uncle was smart enough to be like, he's going back to Japan. He probably needs to take out the tabs. So, I was able to play both.
Oh, nice.
So I took All-Stars with me.
I know that there is like a converter thingy, obviously not official, but there've been like in the shape of like a Super Famicom cart, so that you can stick your American Super Nintendo games on it. Do you have that?
No, that's what I mean, is that we did the tab trick.
Okay,
where,
so
you
you were
shake
just
down the
always
tabs.
using your American Super Nintendo.
Yeah, no, I have a Super Famicom. I got that way later on in life, probably when I was about, I don't know, like 12.
I see.
But I've had the Super Nintendo that I always keep with me, because the Super Famicom's not with me right now. But my older brother, I think, has it right now, I think.
Gotcha.
Because that's where I got my Mega Drive back from, my childhood Mega Drive back from. But no, I've always kept my Super Nintendo. Like, that was always seen as my Super Nintendo.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my brothers would be like, if it has multiple colors on it, then it's ours. If it has the purple and it's more boxy looking, that's Yancey's. Getting confident, Skull.
Oh, fuck.
You should have grabbed the bubble. Why didn't you grab the bubble?
I was thinking about it, but if Knuckles hadn't latched onto the wall, I was trying to jump up. I had enough time to jump up.
Oh, speaking of SNES consoles, a prototype of the console is apparently up in Yahoo Japan.
That's pretty interesting. Welcome to the stream, by the way, glitching back.
I wonder which design revision is it. Does it have like the red buttons on it, and it has like the Famicom backwards compatibility at the time?
They were planning on doing that?
Yeah, no, there was either going to be an add-on or in the console itself.
Oh my god.
Like, literally, like, when SMW was being, well, actually, during Mario 3's, like, kind of, like, final months of releases, it was, like, they literally showed Mario 3 running on, like, the backwards compatibility of it, thing on the Super Famicom. And they had, like, Mario, in an early build of Mario World running right next to it.
Oh, that's really interesting, because, I was subscribed to this channel that would upload, like, old news clips and shit. And there was a report from 1991 about like the upcoming Super Nintendo and all that, and there was like this parent support group about like how pissed off they were.
Oh, it's like Nintendo addicts or whatever.
Yeah, this basically like the crux of what the parents were upset about was because like introducing a new console generation was still like a bit of a
new thing,
still like a bit of a
in
new,
America.
Yeah, a bit of a new concept at the time. Like it didn't happen terribly often. Oh fuck, they don't have the extra ring up here.
No, they took it out in this game.
I see which version Stealth based this on. Oh wait, no, it has the wavy in the background. So why isn't that ring up there?
It may have been a thing. Maybe Stealth wanted more challenge. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I was saying, I'm like, yeah, no, this looks like the Japanese revision of it. Maybe go in and check the level select code, maybe?
Surely this is based on the Japanese version.
Yeah, it has to be based, because I'm noticing the labyrinth waving and the green hill, like, extra layer.
Yeah. Okay, Bubble, you can Thank you.
No, but I mean,
Um,
yeah, no. So imagine little kid me, where it was like my first game was technically 4 games.
yeah, dude, I feel ya. We did have more games in that bundle, notably the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, which sadly we lost about half a year later. I only
Aw.
barely got to see 3 as a kid. Like, I didn't even play it at all.
Oh, some of my first games, Mega Man X, Rockman X. X2 I had as well, very early on. DKC1 I had, the American copy, not Super Donkey Kong. I had SimCity, I had that version of the game, best version of the game. F-Zero I had very early on. Final Fantasy 4 or 2 in America, I had that one. I had Dragon Quest 5 on the console, and I had the re-releases or the remakes of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on the Super Famicom. It was the Super Famicom version specifically because that never came out in America.
Gotcha.
And what else did I have early? Link to the Past. I had a Link to the Past. And Super Godzilla. I had Super Godzilla.
Oh, yo, Super Godzilla. We
and
had that
also
for
Kaiju Daigassen, the fighting game. As
oh
well.
man, yeah, that's the one we didn't get. Before the thought leaves my head, the support group with the parents and stuff around the time Super Nintendo was coming out.
Yeah,
and,
sorry, I got sidetracked.
Yeah, and don't worry, I almost forgot about it too. Like, you know, with the console generation switchover being a new thing at the time, or at least, like, it didn't happen terribly often, you know, like Atari 2600, for instance, came out in 1977 and was still, like, even when 5200 came out, you know, like, it was still a very popular console. People were
Yeah, it was popular until like 88. Like by the time the NES was out over there, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were still manufacturing it until 92. So like it was really popular. So I don't think people really noticed. And like all the other notable consoles coming out around the time were competitors. So you know, it was definitely a bit different before like you know, the NES and whatnot. But the thing is, so like I think the launch price for the Super Nintendo was also $200, which in 1991 was quite a bit of money to spend.
Yeah, nowadays it's like, damn, that's cheap for a next gen console.
Exactly. And so like one of the main criticisms was you know, we only, you know, so recently within the last few years got this Nintendo Entertainment System. You know, if you expect us to pay $200 for this new one, why doesn't it play the old games? Which, you know, I think is interesting to see that they were apparently planning on that at one point.
Yeah, no, especially in Japan, they were planning on it.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
And then they were like, well, this is going to be too expensive to produce. We're putting... Apparently it was because they were like doing like stuff with Mode 7 and they were putting that chip in there.
Yeah.
So it was like, this is going to be too expensive. People still have their because remember, in Japan, people don't really get rid of their old hardware, typically. Yeah. Like here, I still have my childhood Famicom. I still have my PS3. I still have my Wii. I still have my GameCube.
Oh yeah, I feel you. So yeah, I definitely understand the why.
Well, I'm always a big proponent of backwards compatibility.
Yeah. Like at that time, I think like the only like kUko did it with the Atari 2600, like just because the parts were so simple to build.
Yeah, same thing with the 7800.
Yeah, and the 7800 had it too. So like it wasn't really a concept.
They skipped the 5200 though.
Yeah. To be fair though, like the 5200 just had largely the same library, so
but nicer graphics, and even then the 7800 re-released a lot of that shit.
Yeah, so like backwards compatibility first and foremost like wasn't very
well known at the time.
Yeah, very often used, and it adds cost to the price of manufacturing, and of course
that's why the PS3s eventually started dummying out like PS2 compatibility.
Yeah, it's really interesting
But
they
PS1 emulation was just built into the console, so it was fine. They could it will always have PS1 emulation in it.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they handled the PlayStation 2 on there, because at first it was all hardware, and then
Then it was a bit of emulation.
Yeah, that was hardware emulation, and then they just stripped it out entirely.
Yeah, but they always kept the PS1 stuff because it was cheap and it was simple to emulate.
Yeah. And
there's that Orbinaut that killed my run.
Oh, I was ducking. Come on. Good example of Knuckles' hitbox being bigger than Sonic's. I still think, like, out of all the consoles in the 7th gen, the Wii easily had the best backwards compatibility, and that's...
oh, yeah, because the GameCube...
Yeah, the Wii was built off of the GameCube, so there wasn't really going to be any compatibility.
It was like two
issues.
GameCubes, like, strapped together, basically.
Yeah, that's the comparison, but I gotta commend the PS3, because it's PS1 emulation. I think there's only, like, 3 games that don't work.
And they're specifically, like, certain light gun games and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like the other thing about it is that, like, for the games that do work, they work pretty much just as well as they do on the original system.
Yeah, no, I played Crash 3 and Crash 2 on it, like the Japanese versions of it a couple of months ago, and I was like, no, it's actually fairly accurate.
Yeah, and you definitely can't fucking say that about the 360's original Xbox support.
Yeah, for what was supported, it's very good, but what's not supported, ooh wee.
Like, it didn't support a lot of games, but also, like...
It's because of NVIDIA.
But also, like, Microsoft just made the Xbox too good when it comes to, like,
specs.
Copy protection and all that. So, like, the Xbox is, even to today, a very hard system to emulate. So they had a lot of trouble with that. But it's largely been fixed with, like...
like Series X and stuff like that. I have a Series X, and, like, say Knights of the Old Republic 2 runs just fine on it.
Yeah, and oftentimes games performance will be improved as well, which is...
yeah, like Sonic World Adventure.
Yeah, which is pretty nifty. Robert H, by the way, welcome in. Mephilis, welcome in. I'm sorry that we haven't really been reading a whole lot of the comments.
Yeah, we were so enthralled by Super Nintendo talk.
I do love me the Super Nintendo.
Because that's, like, my favorite console. Dude, Final Fantasy IV, man, what a magical game.
Oh man, Glitchin shares our thoughts on Super Godzilla. Said Super Godzilla based, and you know what? Yeah, like the fighting system is really confusing, and I can definitely understand, like.
But once you get the handle of it, it's really fun.
I could definitely understand the frustration of, like, having to go around the map and trying to, like, follow what you're supposed to be doing there, but, like. I don't know, the fighting, once you actually get the hang of it, is, I think, competently enough made.
It's very Kino, as the kids say.
And, like, the sprite work is good, the soundtrack, you can get down with it. So, yeah, like, we didn't have it for terribly long. I forget what my brother traded it in for. I remember it was like a bunch of our Super Nintendo games. I was pretty sad about that.
You're not the first YouTuber I've heard about that. I think Some Call Me Johnny had a similar story, whereas he traded in like a bunch of Super Nintendo, or his uncle traded in, or brother or whatever, for a PS1.
Yeah, his dad traded in, like, basically almost his entire Super Nintendo collection to help get their PS1.
Which is also a great console. It's basically like a Super Nintendo, basically.
Yeah, lots of quality 2D titles on that one.
It's kind of the one generation where Nintendo was not my de facto go-to console. Like, I mean, I love the N64 a lot, but it's like, it doesn't, in my mind, it doesn't hold a candle to the PS1.
Yeah, N64, is really good. I don't have, like, a whole lot of PS1 experience. I own one. I've owned one for the last 10 years, and I still haven't gotten the chance to play it. And
it's really good.
Even whenever I do get the chance to play it, I have only 4 games for it currently.
Gran Turismo 2, Final Fantasy 7 and 9. We don't talk about 8. Dragon Quest 6 on there. bunch of RPGs in general. Biohazard 1 and 2 and 3, or Resident Evil, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of classics. Like Capcom really put out like a lot of Mega Man games on there.
Yeah, PlayStation definitely earned its place in history. What I have for mine is Spider-Man 1 and 2, Pac-Man World, and Power Rangers Time Force.
Pac-Man World's really good.
Yeah, I really want to play it.
It's really good. Also get the remake. That's also really good.
I have the remake on my Steam wish list. If I get to play it, it's probably going to be through there, unless if I can miraculously get a setup for my consoles finally.
Who knows? Maybe I might get a capture card by the time Christmas comes around, and I'll use that to get a Super Nintendo capture card and maybe like record me actually playing on a Super Nintendo in a race format for the race.
Oh man, that'd be pretty dope.
Although it'd maybe have to be the Japanese version.
That's perfectly fine.
Because I mean, there's not much different between All Stars and original Japanese. It's literally just the language is different, and there's a few extra bugs.
Yeah. Xblades and Q the Struggler, welcome to the stream. Xblades was asking how we're doing. I'm doing largely fine. Got some muscle soreness in my back from something yesterday.
Oh, Goodley's here.
Oh, hey, Goodley. Goodley Draws, welcome. Says, you got a sub to comment? What the heck? Also, yes, Pac-Man World is good. I play Pac-Man Rally. The reason why is a while back I was getting inundated with like sex bots accounts. So the solution to that was to make it so that people had to be subscribed for 5 minutes. And I guess like the people running those bots either never knew how to program that in, or just get sick and tired of it, having to wait for 5 minutes.
They see that this is a Sonic channel. It's like, you know what? This guy needs more sex.
They really are a plague. So I'm sorry about the subscriber requirement, but that's the reason why.
And hey, it's a good motivator.
Q was saying, I remember the PS1 Spider-Man game that was based on the '90s cartoon. Not necessarily, but they did have like a couple of the voice actors come back for that. Notably, Efren Zimbalist, I believe his name is Dr. Octopus, and Jennifer Hale is Black Cat.
Yeah, it's kind of an amalgamation game, whereas in like some of it's part of the comic, some of it's part of the cartoon.
Yeah, like it's largely based on the comics because that's what the developers were fans of.
Yeah, and like Stan Lee like helped narrate the game.
Yeah, oh man. Stan Lee, co-creator with Spider-Man here.
Dude, that was such a cool thing that they did. That's what sold me on that game initially. I was like, they got fucking Stan Lee. This game's legit.
Yeah, they got Stan Lee. Like honestly, it looks to be a really solid action game. And
it's really good. You can tell where the newer games got their inspiration from.
It really did set a standard for Spider-Man games, and they had a great sense of humor too. My God. Venom is an absolute treasure.
I love the gif of like it was one of the PS3 era games where he's just like very depressed, like walking through like a battlefield, like as the fucking end of the world's happening.
Web of Shadows, I believe that is.
Yeah, Web of Shadows. He's just kind of slinking off. He's like, I don't fucking feel like this today.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man is back in theaters today. Oh man.
Yeah, it is.
That's the only Spider-Man Spider-Man movie I've seen in theaters, which makes me depressed actually, because Spider-Man's my favorite superhero.
Dude, did you hear that Phantom Menace actually is like one of the biggest like openings for like a thing being shown again in theaters?
Yeah,
apologize to George Lucas.
I didn't read too much into it, but I did see that it was doing well, and I'm happy for that, because like the one
apologize to Jar Jar's actor.
Oh yeah, definitely. He didn't deserve that. But like the one time I saw Phantom Menace, I was a teenager and I wasn't expecting much, but I ended up really liking it. And I was like,
it's really good. It's really
I
good.
was back then I was like, what is people's problem with this movie?
Like, yeah, sure, it's got some pacing issues, but I wouldn't call like the acting bad. Like Ian McGregor and Ian McDermott are great as Obi-Wan and Palpatine.
And for my money, like
Liam Neeson.
the fucking best fight scene in Star Wars.
Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, man, that shit was...
just fucking goes crazy with the score, and they're like fighting in a reactor room, and like fucking headbutts Qui-Gon and like stabs him with a lightsaber.
Yeah, that shit was legit, man.
I'll never forget the face. I remember this one Star Wars clickbait article, right? They showed like this screaming Obi-Wan face, right? He's like, no! It was like, and then the name of the article with that face is like, Obi-Wan cut Anakin's genitals off while he watched. It's like, that's like the most fucking insane, unhinged article I've ever seen. I think it was maybe Screen Rant.
That's,
It's like, I've never thought about that scene like that.
What a story, Mark.
What a story. It was the funniest shit in the world. This is what happens when I say out-of-pocket shit about just weird shit I've seen on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jake Lloyd as Anakin wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a little kid.
He's a kid! He's not gonna be perfect. Come on now.
He did his job well enough.
Yeah.
Also, Sonic Boom fan, Again, I didn't know if you were joking or not, so I didn't want to read that comment. The PS2 Spider-Man games were goated until the third one for the 3 movie, but Spider-Man 2 is goated for sure.
It's a YouTube poop title! That's what good we said! That's that article. That's a YouTube
yeah,
poop title.
that definitely is,
Oh no, Joey's here. He told me I suck.
Another one of your friends, I presume?
Oh, he's one of my streaming mates.
Yeah. Welcome in.
And we totally don't make out furiously behind the counter after stream.
Spicy.
Remember that one clip of SpongeBob where it's like it was like the Justice League type thing, and it was like, make out view? Is that yeah, that's what happened.
Make out peak. Good times.
Good times. Good time. There's actually a theory going around that like Squidward like dated Squilliam back in college. That was what an odd theory, but it kind of makes sense.
With the way that
those
Squilliam
two
talked
act,
to him.
It's bold and beautiful.
Come on, Knuckles, jump.
Knuckles.
Hey, there you go.
Knuckles, what are you okay?
I was able to cheese it. I'm serious? Well, gee, my dude. I don't think that would happen in the movie. Let's just say that.
I remember there was this very funny. This was back on Sonic Retro. This was back in those days. This is an old story. This is gonna date me by about a decade, or maybe 2 decades even. But there was like there was like a screenshot hoax. It's like, guys, I finally found a screenshot of Genocide City from Sonic 2.
Oh yeah.
You want to know what background they use? This fucking
that?
background. They're like, dude, they wouldn't use this background. Knuckles, why'd you... Knuckles just broke all space and time for doing that.
He really did.
I never liked this part of the level right here with the spinning platforms and the flamethrowers. Like, it always made me wonder. It's like, you either just gotta get lucky with the timing like I do, or use the spin dash, but it's like, but you didn't have the spin dash in Sonic 1. So it's like...
How
Sonic
the
one has
ever-loving
weird-ass
shit
level
did I
design.
save myself there?
I mean, you just rode with the platforms or you're gliding.
That was an absolute fluke.
I won't call it a fluke. I thought it was calculated. I thought you were backtracking for something.
No, man, that was just by the skin of my teeth. It was just me making a desperate attempt to stay alive.
I gotta stay alive!
I deserve to get hit there for that bullshit. Those are the 4 Spider-Man games that stood out to me. 90s PS1, the 2 Raimi tie-in games, the first 2 of them, and Ultimate on the GameCube. Oh,
yeah,
dude.
Joey, that's correct.
Oh man, the Ultimate Spider-Man is like the biggest reason why I was upset when my GameCube memory card corrupted.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. I was stuck on the race with Electro, and it had been like a couple of years. So like every now and then I would make another attempt at it, and then Electro would be like, "Haha, you didn't beat me."
Died
And I'd be
20
like,
times.
Yeah, it'd be like, "Oh, you son of a bitch," you know.
Yeah, fuck you, Electro. I'm glad you
Exactly.
got killed in the new movies.
It was the 1019 memory card, so you know, the one that has problems, and I happen to have one of the games that gives it problems. I think it's Sonic Adventure 2 actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish a GameCube memory card on my worst fucking enemies, honestly.
Yeah, like that. You know, that card had a lot of space, but I was not prepared for. And you know, it was stupid to not be prepared for the possibility because I fucking read about it online. But I was like, oh well, you know, I've had
it's
it
a lot
for...
more documented these days, I would say.
You know, I was like, well, I haven't had the problem before, so you know, I should be fine. You know, this is.
I don't need to buy another memory card and back up my saves.
Yeah, so the only other memory card that I have, aside from my brother's, which I know that he wouldn't have let me borrow, because he had a problem. Like, the whole reason why I had that 1019 card in the first place was because he had a problem with me borrowing his.
See, I only ever bought like the 32 meg card, like the big white one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. They apparently programmed that one a little differently, and it has problems because of that. So like the only other one that I have is like the light blue, like the 56 block one, which obviously doesn't carry a whole lot of information.
Wait, let me check what memory card I have. My memory card right here. Let me just pull it out real quick. It's the 4 megabyte one. I'm sorry. So, do you know what that card is?
No, I only know them
so
by
I probably
like...
have an okay one. I probably have an okay one then.
The official ones were white. That's the one that has the problems. It's the 1019 card.
No, I don't have an official one on me. I have
okay.
2 white ones with like a fat like top to it, so
Okay,
like
yeah,
makes it a little bigger.
So I have no idea about like any of those third-party cards. Also,
I was about to panic.
I also love how Knuckles can latch on to what's very clearly
The
not
laser gate.
Yeah, what's very clearly not a solid surface. Goodness. But yeah. So like, I have the smallest memory card, which was given to me for free, new inbox by one of my friends.
Damn.
You know. Yeah, this was when like GameCube stuff was still cheap. And everything. He was just like, yeah, we got it when the system first came out, but like I never used it. So
when
like,
Mario Kart Double Dash fucking costed maybe $30.
Yeah, man, those are the days. If this retro video game bubble could just pop so that the games are affordable again, that'd be really cool.
It's eventually going to, because right now, like 8-bit and 16-bit stuff are like really cheap right now. Because everybody that bought a copy now has a copy.
I'll have to go look into that.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper, especially if you're getting Japanese imports like I do. Well, Japanese import, well, I grew up with the Japanese. They weren't imports where I come from. But
Right.
it's like those are even cheaper. Because it's like the Japanese population's a lot smaller. So there's not as many people trying to kill each other for a copy of a game. Yeah, we have plenty to go around.
For a while, that's how people were getting Sega Saturn games.
Yeah,
in the
Japanese
US,
imports.
because eventually, like the American versions were just getting so ridiculously expensive, and now the Saturn versions from Japan are also now ridiculously expensive too. So
Not as expensive as, say, like Panzer Dragoon Saga American. Like Panzer Dragoon Saga Japan is very expensive, but it's nothing compared to the American version.
I mean, yeah, that's always gonna be a thing.
A friend of mine
There
actually
will.
found an English copy of it at like a fucking thrift store for like $10.
I hope your friend immediately bought it.
Yeah, no, he bought it. He took it home with him, as well as a
Good,
bunch of like Dragon Ball GT DVDs, because that's what he was looking for.
good.
You want to know who he gave that to as a gift?
Gee, does it have
That was
anything to
me.
do with a?
So now I have
a...
2 copies of Panzer Dragoon Saga, one Japanese, one American.
Oh man, that's nuts.
Yeah, it was like the old like English like DVD singles of GT specifically. I'm talking a glitch in here. He was looking for specifically like the annihilation, masturbation, castration.
Okay.
You know, they had like Asian like preparation,
Jesus
like
Christ.
generation.
We had the first 3 episodes on tape, like when it was brand new. And I remember watching it for the first time, and I was like, "Why? What is with this rap theme? What?" I was 9 years old at the time, and even then I was like, they're just doing this because they think rap is cool for the kids, you know. But obviously, I gained an appreciation for it later because I do love me some silly shit. But it was just like at the time I was like, this feels kind of lame. You know.
Well, it was probably cool at the time, I bet. Maybe. If it was 2005. Maybe. I don't know. To be fair, though, it's also corporate people, so it's
Yeah,
probably...
you know,
so it was like 5 years too late.
You know, corporate people in the early 2000s were definitely like, oh yeah, you know, kids love their rap. Let's make every, or, well, not every, but let's do a rap theme song was a popular choice around the time. And rarely was it ever that great.
Oh, hi, Stealth. I'm looking at the credits.
Retro revitalization plan is in full effect. I sure hope so, Q.
I think so. I think it'll...
Oh yeah, Shay. Sorry I didn't acknowledge you before, but says can't stay. I just wanted to pop in to see what y'all are doing and say hello. Y'all have a good stream and take care. Thank you, Shay. Much appreciated.
Goodly Draw is, of course, the most serious man alive. He says, I don't like silly shit. I like the dour shit. That just makes you feel bad. That makes you sad, like BoJack Horseman.
You're missing out.
No, he's joking. He's joking. He likes silly shit.
Uh,
We actually had a whole long conversation about that at night, or last night on stream.
Swift, I did see the pictures, and I think the tail is interesting. It looks like I don't know if this was your intention or not, Swift, but it looks like old RCA cables.
Oh.
You know what would be a great idea is if we urban this property up for the kids and out of touch executive. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you know,
exactly what happened to Funny, probably.
Yeah.
And they say Funny only got bad recently. No, they were always bad.
That I very personally disagree with, but yes.
Oh, like that they were always bad?
Yeah, no, I definitely don't agree with that, especially having grown up on their work.
Luckily for you, I didn't. So when I went and saw a few of their dubs, I was like, "What the fuck did they do to my show?
Oh man, that's
what did they do to my beautiful people show?
That's certainly a take.
What did they do to my world? Why did they do this?"
Well, so that was Knuckles and Sonic 1. We're just gonna do Q&A, questions, comments, concerns, complaints, and all that. And all that. What was your opinion? He looks interesting. Uh, I would presume with the aux cables here that he has kind of like an electrician theme, something along those lines. Also, Sonic Boom fan. If I wasn't willing to say it out loud in the form of like reading your question, then you know, I'm not going to say it out loud in the form of telling
Well,
Yancey what it was.
actually, there were two dubs that I thought Funny did a good job on. Fruit Baskets and Full Metal Alchemist slash Brotherhood. They did a good job on those two dubs.
Oh my God! Don't tell me you
What?
hate their dub of Yu Yu Hakusho.
No, I hate it. I absolutely despise it.
Go fuck
I hate
yourself.
I hate the Dragon Ball dub. I hate the Dragon Maid dub. I hate a lot of things, a lot of dubs that they made. I'm like,
Wow.
these are just the same voice actors doing these voices over and over again.
I
I hate the My Hero Academia dub. I hate that dub.
I cannot believe you. Uh,
Yeah, but you said that you hated the Japanese version of Dragon Ball. You hated Masako Nozawa's voice.
okay, but you know it's uh,
You know, so we're even.
I could still
An eye for an eye.
hold on. I didn't say I hated. I think it's weird that they went in that direction, but you know
Handpicked by Toriyama. It's the show he wanted.
I acknowledged that she is a legend and has her place. Uh,
It'd be like saying I hate Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime. It's like, no, it's like Peter Cullen's a fucking legend. He has a great voice.
And I also said that like the Japanese soundtrack for Dragon Ball Z in most cases was unfitting, but it was still good music.
No, that's wrong. No, Dragon Ball is nothing without Kikuchi.
Listen,
That
I think like the style was just too similar to the original Dragon Ball. Like the original Dragon
well,
Ball
it's
has a
supposed to be cohesive. It's all one series in
it's all
Japan.
one series, but the tone changed. You know,
Yeah, and
Dragon Ball's a
Kikuchi's music, if you really listen to Kikuchi's music, as you go through Z, you notice he starts abandoning, kind of the slide whistles and, the more quirky trumpet noises. Like he eventually goes for more of almost like it's high noon western feel to it. Like by the time you get to like things like the Boo arc, it goes like it has like that very like that wow 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 wow. Like it has a very like I don't want to say dour, but a very heavy sort of feel to it with the big band.
I personally can't agree.
I mean,
I
I do like Falconer's music. I just don't think it fits Dragon Ball Z.
okay, so we basically have the same opinion but flipped.
Yeah, except my music is the original intended soundtrack.
And, so what do you think of the fan made abridged dub of Dragon Ball? Oh, dude,
I
Dragon
do like
Ball.
that. I do like DBZA abridged.
Yeah, the DBZA crew definitely trended more like to the Japanese side of things,
Outside
and like
of the three Ocean Dub uncensored movies of the first three DBZ movies, that is the best English dub Dragon Ball has ever had,
God
official or
damn.
otherwise.
Uh, and they like took an extra step and tried to make it closer to the manga even while
Yes.
still parodying it, which you know
Well, it's
is
abridged. You got to make it. You got to shorten it.
yeah.
I do love Vegeta's Super Saiyan theme. Vegeta's Bruce Falconer Super Saiyan theme is really, really good with the piano. That is genuinely very good. Perfect Cell's theme's great. Um,
Yeah, dude.
Gohan's anger theme's good, but I wouldn't take it over Spirit versus Spirit from the Japanese version. But I do like the Kamehameha with the Gohan's anger theme. I do appreciate that. Um, I did the thing that actually was like this doesn't fit Dragon Ball Z was when I heard the Falconer music with the killing Kid Buu with the Spirit Bomb or the Genki Dama. When I saw that, I was like, no, this doesn't fit Dragon Ball. Like it's just fucking shredding on a guitar while Buu's trying to push him when it's supposed to be like a very somber moment.
Uh, well, you know, um,
It's like
See,
you know when it's supposed to be like wow ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum.
hmm,
Like it's supposed to be somber but also triumphant
but
because
it's
it's like I hope you come back someday, boo, sort of deal.
I'd have to listen to it. But like I don't know, just Dragon Ball's action just trended toward the rock
So how do you
soundtrack
feel
just
about the
fits it
wall to
really well
wall
in my
of
opinion.
the English score? How do you feel about the wall to wall music? No, never silence. We gotta have some
That that I think
some.
I think is just indicative of how anime was dubbed at the time. It's a product of its time. If you were to ask me like right now, you mentioned Gohan transforming into Super Saiyan 2, for instance, and I think that that initial silence that you see when Android 16's head gets caved in, uh, and Gohan just staring in disbelief and increasing anger, uh, that worked better silent than them trying to add narration to it in the English version.
Yeah, and
Uh,
then it like kicks into Spirit versus Spirit with the insert song,
yeah, so
like when the actual transformation happened.
yeah, so if you were to ask me, like for moments like that, it adds more impact
But
to
let me
that.
give
Like,
you one scene that I actually prefer in the English version that I think the Japanese version, at least in the initial version before Kai, I think got completely wrong. When Vegeta died against Frieza the initial time, like when in the Japanese version they play this very like dramatic theme. It's like when Goku's, like the wind's blowing through. The Japanese version was like, oh, 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 but, like just like really going at. And I'm like, it's not meant to be that serious. It's meant to be a quiet moment in the manga. And then in the English version, when you see that, like Bruce was like, okay, we're gonna have silence like right after his death. Like it's just you hear the wind and it doesn't even start playing any background music until Goku's already picked up Vegeta.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that was very beautiful and like a really good sign of restraint from the American side. I think did a really good job with that scene.
uh, it's interesting to hear that there is stuff that you do like because a lot of people will just be like completely dismissive, and I think that that's like
Well, both sides will do it. Both sides will be like,
yeah.
"Oh, Falconer sucks. Kikuchi's better. Or Kikuchi sucks. Falconer's." See, I think both sides have good scenes. It's just I prefer all in all. I think Kikuchi fits the overall show better.
Yeah, and we clearly have a divide on that, but it's
Vegeta going nuts on Cell after he killed Trunks. I actually think both. I think are actually equal in my mind because both ways that they decided to use the music, I think, did a very beautiful job.
yeah. Q here says listen to Trunks killing Frieza with Falconer, and then listen to it with Kikuchi. I don't think the Kikuchi score works for any of that encounter. That
I'll disagree. Battle Point Infinity, the dun 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 dun
yeah,
dun dun dun
Trunks's
dun.
Japanese theme is pretty dope. I do like his Falconer English theme as well.
No, it sounds
But
all right. I do like it. It's just maybe a bit too calm.
I think it was a really interesting touch in my opinion because Trunks is just kind of that character, or at least future Trunks is,
Yeah,
where
he is that
he's
guy. He's got that dog in him
yeah, he's like I think the calmest and most methodical
of the
of
super signs. Yeah,
yeah of like the Saiyan characters. He's a bit different in that respect just because of like what he had to grow up and go through and all that. So I think doing that theme like that I think makes perfect sense.
I think the Falconer score shows his like calm and that he's completely in control against Frieza. While I think the Japanese version goes for more of that cool factor. That it's like the shock of him being a Super Saiyan.
I can definitely see that. Yeah.
They're at different angles, and I can't really say either one is better. I just prefer the Japanese version because that's what I had.
Gotcha.
That's what I grew up on DVD and reruns.
Yeah.
Yeah, Battle Point Infinity explains that Future Trunks is him. Yeah, I would agree with that. He was him. He will continue to be him. And there I go, having another Dragon Ball tangent again. But we can all agree, though, that the story of Dragon Ball is amazing.
Yeah, up to a certain point. I would
I mean, it
say.
has its issues, sure, but I think as a general cohesive whole, it's generally very high quality compared to a lot of schlock out there at times. I just realized something. What if Future Trunks' theme if we ever get a new rescore of Dragon Ball Z, right? What if Future Trunks' theme when he kills Frieza? What if it was the Home Depot theme? It goes, duh. What if it was that?
I'm sorry, I was typing messages. Can you repeat that?
What if we ever get a new English score of Dragon Ball for whatever reason? I hope the Future Trunks theme is Home Depot.
Man,
He's gonna take Frieza to Home Depot and then kill him in there.
that's instead of like uh, instead of the sword, he gets like a hammer or something.
He gets a hammer, he fucking smashes Frieza's skull in with it.
Yeah, and not
Instead
even
of like
like
the
not even
sword.
like not even like a sledgehammer. He's just got like a regular old hammer.
Like a hammer that you just like tap on it. Like to
Yeah.
get nails in. I'm going to nail you, Frieza. What do you mean you're gonna nail? Ah!
I mean, you certainly can kill people with a regular hammer, but we're talking Frieza here.
Yeah, we're talking Frieza. Claw first on the hammer with like the way that you pry off the nail. That'd fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Gouge out Frieza's eyes with it. Holy shit.
The clash between Trunks' theme and Goku's theme in the Falconer score is a good clash of Trunks' harsh upbringing against Goku's more calm and zen, like Trunks' chaotic nature against Goku's calm. You know
Yeah,
what?
that's a pretty good scene. They actually did a really good job with that in the American version. I'll also give it that
Yeah.
credit.
You know what? You named something that you liked about the English version, and I'll name something that
Well, I'm naming multiple things that I like about
right.
it, like multiple scenes.
Right. I'll give you a solid. Like if we're talking about like that specific arc, uh, Sonic Boom fan, just you've been given a warning by Ahmad. I've told you multiple times that I don't want to read that out loud. I'm sorry, my dude. If you want to talk to us about something else, that's perfectly fine. But just move on. Um, Anyway, uh, about the English Dragon Ball dub during that arc, uh, it's sort of the same mindset as like using rap theme songs, right? Where like uh, there's a part where Krillin and Gohan are having a conversation with each other, and like they're constantly calling each other like bro, and stuff. Uh, and
Yeah, I
back in
like
the
that. I
day,
like that.
I was like, oh man, they're talking like me and my brother do to each other. But nowadays, I hear that and I'm like, I don't know, that just mm, it really does come across as like, hello, fellow kids writing, you know?
To me, I always took that because I have seen like most of the English dub of at least the Z portion of the series. Mind you, with the Japanese music, but I would see like bits and pieces of it with the Falconer score when applicable. But I like the whole they showed that a bit more closeness because remember they went to fucking Namek together.
Yeah, no,
Like they've been through
like
hell.
I think they portrayed the idea of Krillin and Gohan being, really good friends well. It's just like I like the bro was just like a bit of a weird attempt at trying to make them sound cool.
Yeah,
Uh, Swift
yeah,
here,
it's a bit forced. It's a bit forced.
yeah, Swift here says, "Who thinks purple-haired Future Trunks looks hot? Future Trunks is hot," she
He's
says.
my dude crush. He was my dude crush. Trust me.
You know, that Future Trunks
Him
is
and Gabe Newell.
Gabe Newell, interesting. Uh, you know, Future Trunks though is a good example of my colorblind ass, because uh,
You thought his hair was white, didn't you?
I thought his hair was gray. No,
Gray.
no
Yeah, it
joke.
could definitely come off that way, at least in like some of the like depending on which studio was animated and coloring.
And like
So it's like it'd come
I,
off as a very light purple in some episodes. So I
it,
could see that.
it was like it was really it looked like a light gray to me. Which is interesting because I never thought that he looked old, despite thinking that his hair was gray.
Yeah, well to be fair though, some people just have white and gray hair.
And so yeah, that was I never saw it as purple. Unless it in specific situations though, I think
Like
that it
when he
did
had the
because
long
like
hair, it was a lot clearer that he had purple hair.
nah, not even then. It was like certain pieces of art had his hair look darker, and
Like
I think
Toriyama stuff.
I think
When
in I think in History of Trunks it's also colored darker.
well, when he's younger, he looks like it like during sunset time, it actually does look very like almost white. But like during the normal day and like the nighttime and during like the rainstorm near the end of the special when Gohan's dead, we call him Puddle Han, but
Puddle on.
uh,
Jesus Christ.
we he his hair is very clearly like a dark purple.
Yeah, they
But like during like the sunset when he's like fighting the androids, even in base form, it looks like almost white.
yeah, see, like my assumption back then, like during that scene where he's crying over Gohan becomes Super Saiyan for the first time, like my assumption
Yeah,
was just,
Puddle
oh,
Han.
that's the lighting, but no, his hair's just purple. I The reason why they changed it, Swift, I think, was just to make it more consistent, because
Well, it's actually to differentiate. We actually have a Japanese guide out there that says that the future Trunks from Super is not the same, like the exact same future Trunks from like Z from the original series. The original Trunks from the original series went on the Time Patrol in like the Xenoverse games, whereas in this is like an alternate future Trunks that didn't do that.
huh,
It's a weird multiversal thing.
that's not something and it's weird because I did actually do a bit of reading earlier today on this very subject, but if you're just
Really?
wondering, Swift, why like it's blue specifically, I think it was because they wanted to
Yeah, and also just an art
they
direction thing, but
I
there's an in-universe explanation.
I think the producers just kind of wanted to homogenize it with Bulma because they started coloring her hair blue. Uh, so yeah.
Yeah, because the purple hair Bluma was more of a like a manga thing, and with Trunks they just didn't get the memo, so it was like, oh, we'll just make his hair purple.
Is it just me, or I mean, it could, to be fair, but in like in Z, in the original Dragon Ball, I seem to remember. No, oh my God, now I'm confusing myself. Uh, like in the anime, definitely in Z, it looks Bulma's hair looks more green to me.
Yeah, it's definitely more of like a green. Yeah, it is like a proper green because even in a lot of like official art, even from that era or depicting the characters from that era, the hair is very much green unless it's the manga, in which case it's purple.
Okay, so so that counts for the original anime too, right?
Yes, that counts for the original
Yeah,
anime.
okay, so I am remembering it correctly. Uh,
Yeah, no, you're
I don't,
just
I don't,
because
I don't usually mistake green and blue for each other. But
to be fair
you
though,
know,
I'm colorblind when it comes to red and orange.
yeah, yeah, some like very rarely, but sometimes I do see red and orange. It's more so seeing orange as red. I've noticed.
I
Uh,
see, yeah, no, yeah, same thing with me. I see orange as red a lot of the times.
yeah,
Like it has to be a garish orange for me to be able to even pick it up.
it's not usually the other way around. Uh, Not really a Dragon Ball guy. What does the Z stand for? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. It was literally an indicator that the series would be ending soon, or
Yeah,
he thought so at the time. They were like, "Oh, hey, new series," because originally they were just gonna still call it Dragon Ball,
yeah, yeah. So
but it was like, "Oh, hey, we'll get new marketing budget if we change the name and
yeah,
treat it like a new series."
yeah, the producers were basically just like, "Hey, we're kind of shifting the tone a little bit. Perfect time
Do
to
it.
add a little bit to the title."
Although
So
to be fair,
yeah.
that they eventually gave it a meaning with like Zeto Senshi or the Z Warriors. So it's like that was
Mm,
mostly a anime thing. Like Toriyama never adopted that name. He always just called them the Dragon Team.
yeah, I was about to say because like the Z Fighters or whatever, like that's as far as I knew, that was like an American thing.
No, the title comes from a final solitary battle. Bardock, the father of Z Warrior Son Goku, challenges Frieza. That's where that first like popped up at. Was the
Huh.
Japanese title for the Bardock special.
Gotcha.
I have near encyclopedic knowledge on this shit.
Well, hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, they discuss like the Z Warrior thing more in the Japanese Dragon Box, like the Dragon Book, where they like talk to like producers and stuff and like interviews. And they're like, "Oh, hey, where did that come from?" It was like, I don't know. I just thought it sounded cool at the time.
The X makes it sound cool.
Yeah, the X makes it sound cool. Mega Man X. It's the
Sonic X.
90s. We gotta put X, Y, and Z and everything.
Why? I don't remember anything with Y. Was
And
that more of
V.
a?
Well, V in Japan specifically was like a big thing, like Sailor V,
Oh yeah.
Transformers Victory,
You know what? I think that's kind of
V Gundam.
interesting. Uh, Obviously they couldn't really help it with Sailor Moon because they're all named after the planets and stuff. But uh, like the V sound isn't in the Japanese language.
Yeah,
So
it's so like in Japan, same thing with Z. We say Z typically, so it's Dragon Ball Z. So like Transformers Victory would be Transformers Victory,
yeah.
and they would
So
have to say V specifically in English.
yes, it's interesting to see like words with V or starting with V or just the letter itself being used in
Yeah, like the bad nickname Valkyrie, it's actually Valkyrie in Japan.
yeah, just because like that sound again just doesn't exist in the Japanese language. So it's interesting.
Vegeta,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Vegeta, and we don't have a G that goes J in Japan, so we spell with a J.
Yeah.
And instead of an E, we put an I where the second E would be. So
Hmm.
we have B, so it'd be BEJITA.
Well, Swift, I'm not exactly attracted to men, but aesthetically, I think his like original look when he came down to fight Frieza is the best one. And if we're gonna go with like the Super Saiyan hairstyles, I've always liked his the best.
He had a really cool like he made the bowl cut work. Like he
Oh
he
yeah.
rocked that bowl cut
Oh for sure.
better than Gohan ever did.
And and I don't know what was like some weird trait about me as a kid, just always noticing how like the hair changed with like Super Saiyans and stuff, and thinking that that was just like a really cool design concept.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's cool, and it's like it's very clear, especially in animation, where you can like see where the hair goes in the
yeah,
transformation.
yeah. So like me, even now as an adult, I'll look at like say Super Saiyan Future Gohan, for example, and be like, that hairstyle is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It looks good. I'm actually a big fan of the Super Saiyan like Gohan, like when he had the long hair, because it looked like Goku's like Super Saiyan hair, but a lot more like massive and more down to the back.
Oh yeah, when he first
First did
became a
it.
Super
I
Saiyan.
wish we saw that more. I wish we saw that more.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting little bit. I didn't remember that when I was a kid. It must have just like it's a pretty quick scene, but so yeah. Uh,
What's
it
my
it
username in Japanese? Well, Kuko means mysterious,
oh no,
so it'd literally be mysterious Chad.
I think I think what Swift is asking is what her username would translate to in Japanese. Sun
Well,
Swift.
Sun Swift. How'd that specifically go? Because that's a harder thing to specifically translate, because Swift is kind of an odd name to go about it.
Yeah, presumably, if you were to translate it to Japanese and go back to English, it would be something like fast-moving sun or something along those
No,
lines.
it'd probably still be Sun Swift and Frenetic. It'd just be Sun Swift though.
Gotcha,
But if we're specifically going for a more faithful translation, specifically, I'd have to probably think on that a little bit harder.
gotcha,
Again, my brain is kind of fried because I've been translating Goodley's comic recently.
gotcha. If a crossover were to happen between Sonic and Dragon Ball, would you be excited for it? I would be perplexed, but it is two properties that I love a lot. So like, I don't think it would make a whole lot of sense because like you compare the two and the Dragon Ball characters are just way more fucking powerful. Uh, but I think I could probably have fun reading it unless if the plot was like really fucking dumb and not like the enjoyable kind of dumb. Uh, but yeah, it would be a surprise. But also,
Also, I figured out how I'd translate Sun Swift's name. It would literally just be Sun Swift though.
there you go, Swift.
Like it's a fairly easy thing. My brain kind of got fried from translating Onion Punch for the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah, power scales
So
mean
I'm like,
nothing.
I'm overthinking. Yeah, power skills are fucking dumb. Even Toriyama's like, I just put scouters there just to kind of generally give the audience an idea of power thresholds.
Yeah, y- you know, uh, I don't know. Like obviously like the characters very clearly don't really have a ceiling, so
Yeah, they just.
you could just write the Sonic characters to be more powerful as you need them to.
Well, to be
uh
fair though, I mean, I think the Sonic characters would probably scale fairly well as is, because you got to remember, Sonic had technically fought a God of Destruction in one because of Perfect Chaos. It's just in the game they don't really show off that kind of power like that
yeah,
because it's a
like
video game. It's
the
got to be
way that
comprehensible.
they depict it, I guess the closest thing would be like the last episode of Sonic X, where Sonic and Shadow are quite literally fighting a planet. So
Yeah, they're literally fighting a planet. Like, they managed to beat that planet. Mind you, Shadow technically died in the We really don't know what happened to him in the continuity.
yeah,
Like, we really don't know what. I like to think he still survived and he just got a time.
yeah.
Because
And
he didn't get amnesia.
they very clearly
And
imply that too in like the last little bit. Not in the
because
English
I
version
know
because they're pussies.
because
Uh,
because I know for a fact that some of the original plans from some of the like old interviews were like, oh hey, we're originally going to do a heroes arc if we had a season 4, because that would have been a good time to do it.
yeah. Can you
With like
imagine
Neo
if because like the show was immensely popular, right? Can you imagine if they had continued for like another 3 years? Uh,
well,
maybe like three
we
or
would have
four.
gotten 06 and Rush
Yeah,
and
like would have gotten
Unleashed
fucking.
maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Can you, dude? A Sonic Unleashed arc of Sonic X
That would have
would have
been pretty sick.
like I have a nostalgic sweet spot for that show, and if they had like gotten their shit together and everything, dude, Unleashed, holy fuck. Uh, although like the art style with Unleashed and the character designs and all that, they probably would have had to change it up quite a lot because like
Either that or they just adapted as they did and just kept like Sonic's like X design with the 3 spines.
yeah, but like the humans in Unleashed though look a whole lot different. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair though, the humans in, I mean, they were based off of Adventurous Humans very clearly, but they very much had a very distinct feel to them.
They have quite a Pixar inspired look. I'd say about the humans in Unleashed.
I
Uh,
feel like they would just probably keep the regular humans again and just kind of, because since the humans aren't that plot relevant to Unleashed specifically, I think you kind of just get away with using, the current humans in the X universe.
uh, maybe like if Man, just the prospect of replacing Professor Pickle with Chuck Thorndike, and not that I hate Chuck Thorndike or anything, but Professor Pickle. I mean, good God,
Dude,
what a
or who
fucking
knows? Maybe
Chad.
he knows Professor Pickle and calls him a fucking weirdo for his weird obsession with sandwiches. Speaking of Heroes and X, that just makes me think of the comic where Archie Metals. Yeah, he does go to the X universe.
Indeed. Finds Eggman and he says, "A metal Sonic. What a novel idea."
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
that's
guess in
pretty
that
fun.
timeline, because it's like generally speaking, at least in the Japanese continuity, it was implied that generally speaking, the original trilogy happened.
And we never saw Metal Sonic, so
I guess CD happened differently. I guess maybe just Eggman kidnapped Amy himself.
maybe. Uh, I've mentioned this before, but uh, like the very original pitch trailer for Sonic X,
Yeah, see, he was gonna live in a world full of his own people, kind of like how current
yeah,
Sonic is.
yeah. So it was like all Mobian designs. Like the only human you see in the trailer is Eggman and stuff. The way that they present that, honestly, like it came off as kind of like an anime movie trailer to me, and I could like it kind of made me sad like watching it with I'd seen it like plenty of times, but I'm talking like one particular watching recently with my buddies Rabbit and Josh. I was looking at this and I was like, this would have made a really good basis for just an early 2000s Sonic the Hedgehog animated movie. Like
Yeah, like a sequel to the OVA in a sense, at least spiritually.
just have it be its own self-contained thing, make it like 90 minutes or whatever. This would have been a really fucking good movie.
Yeah, it
Uh
would have been pretty badass.
just based on this concept. And
Because it's like classic would have gotten one and modern would have gotten one.
I have that nostalgic soft spot for Sonic X and whatnot, but like
I'm still waiting
I
for that perfect Sonic TV show. I think to me, in my heart, it's like AOSTH and like Bits of X will pretty much be like that perfect show.
Yeah, Bits of X definitely describes.
And even AOS, but even like Sad AM, I think in terms of storytelling, I think has like a really good stuff in it.
Yeah. Shit. What was I gonna say? But like ideal Sonic media, like I feel like that original pitch concept for X
Yeah, that'd be
would have
very ideal.
made a really fucking good movie if they stuck with that theme and then all they would have needed was like a good script and all that, but like the animation was really good. Obviously they look to be like building something really good.
I mean, people love the '90s OVA. Imagine how like the modern people would have felt about an OVA for the modern era.
hmm Um, Robert here says I always think of the second preview thing with the X Tornado being all orange and gold instead of the silver and red we got.
I honestly like the silver and red more. Like that gives it like that prototype feeling that it's like this thing ain't 100% like finished yet.
I think it's interesting that they. I don't remember the X Tornado being gold in that particular trailer, but I definitely remember it being gold in season 3. After Tails
Yeah,
upgrades it.
because it was like finally finished. Yeah,
And is that like based off of that previous colorization or
I'm sure it was. They must have. They must have.
if so,
Like
that's
TMS must have.
if so, that would be an interesting way to kind of call back to that. Q wrote quite a bit about Dragon Ball, so I'm gonna go read that here. Gohan not having to consistently train for however many years passed between the Tournament of Power and Dragon Ball Superhero, and then Beast Mode being the strongest form in the series says a lot. Toriyama did Gohan on record saying Gohan was his strongest character in the superheroes movie was him finally taking the opportunity to showcase that definitively, and that Piccolo was his favorite. He was
Yeah,
always trying
Piccolo
to
was his
find
favorite.
he was always trying to find a way to write Goku out and pass the torch throughout his entire life, which he was finally trying to figure out at the end, but over the course of his career, his editors always protested against that decision. That's one of the reasons why I think that like the Cell arc should have just been the end, because it
I don't know.
was.
I'm glad it went on for one more arc after. I'm glad we got like Boo in the
I
end.
I I feel like you can just kind of tell though that that Toriyama was running out of steam, as it were.
I
You
do
know,
like that GT had Goku just basically like completely just leave. It pretty much implies that Gohan basically, like Gohan and Vegeta were basically the guys that were protecting Earth at that point.
and GT's ending, like that, that was a really good ending actually.
Yeah, it's like to me, if it continued without Goku after that point, I would have been satisfied because it's like Goku got like a perfect ending.
Yeah, and like you know, that was a really good send off actually. After having aired Dragon Ball and stuff for 11 years. Uh,
I'm surprised they
very
didn't do a spin-off of like what Goku did after, like what places did he visit and stuff like
yeah,
that.
just hanging out with Shenron and all that. Um, so yeah, you know, I personally, again, I feel like with the way that the whole Cell arc ended and everything was like the perfect ending for the
I
story.
mean, DBZA
Uh,
did show that it could be a good finale to the series
exactly. It just leaves off on a good point, and Cell was just like the culmination. He was
of
literally a part
everything,
of. He was literally a
everything.
part of every villain that we had seen up to that
Hero,
point.
villain, everybody.
Yeah,
Like Frieza,
exactly.
King Cold, the androids, the fucking King Piccolo, Piccolo Jr., the Saiyans. It was like everything that came before for the Red Ribbon Army having its ties to there.
Yeah, and Goku had a very justified reason for wanting to stay in the afterlife. So uh,
Well, I've heard arguments about it, whether or not it was actually a good idea or not.
so you know, I feel like that's like where it should have ended. One like uh, I do have some nostalgia for the Boo arc and stuff as well. I do think that it had some good in it. Definitely everything involving Mr. Satan, like that's my favorite thing about it. They Hercule,
Yeah, Mr.
they
Saten's friendship
his
with Majin Buu, I think, was worth it.
his character development is easily the best thing about that entire arc.
Oh, he's
uh
amazing. Like Dragon Ball's most interesting friendship right there,
and
Mr.
if
Buu
there's
and Mr. Satan.
if there's one thing that I can be happy about with Dragon Ball continuing after the Cell arc
We saw more of it.
is that Hercule's character development was fucking amazing. It,
GT had a very beautiful thing where he like just stood up to Baby because he thought like Baby like killed Pan. Like
it,
he was getting ready to fight, and like Goku tells him, "It's like you're a real hero now, Mr. Satan. You were about to like throw your life away for the sake of like your loved ones."
yeah, dude. Hercule easily one of the best characters in the franchise, and I will die on that hill. Uh,
Yeah, he's great. I love him.
yeah,
I mean,
dude.
in the Cell arc, I could take him or leave him, but like once Boo comes around, oh no, he's the funniest fucking character. I love him.
Yeah, dude. Again, like that, it's just a really solid example of character development. Because when he first came around as a kid, I thought he was like just
No,
some.
people hated Mr. Satan like during the Cell arc.
Yeah, yeah. Like when he first came around, I thought that he was just some annoying jackass, and then that continued into the Buu arc, and then he started buddying up with Majin Buu, and by the time that that B gets shot, like
To
you
watch
love
Mr.
Mr.
Satan
Satan.
just beat the shit out of those guys.
Yeah, he turns around, he becomes a good guy, and like you see you see just how much of a cool dude that he is, and whatnot.
Yeah, he has morals. He has morals. I mean, he has a kid, so of course he's going to be a pretty solid dude, but you don't expect like him to be like that upset over like somebody shooting a dog. It's like this is fucking horrible. I'm going to stop these people.
Yeah. So that's Hercule's just the shining light of Dragon Ball post Cell. Uh,
Yeah, if the show would be significantly worse without him
hmm
and a lot
uh,
less charming.
yeah. Robert says the X Tornado was just an interesting idea. Kind of shocked that it
Yeah, it never
never
did.
never got a toy. Yeah, with Sonic X did have that toy line. They
They
just
need to make a new one, maybe like a crowdfunding campaign or something to get like an X Tornado made.
oh man, if you know GE's been like really good about referencing old stuff. Although Sega has like this weird don't do
Thing where
anything
they,
from Sonic X. Uh,
but
X
I've noticed they have been loosening up on it because you got to remember a lot of these restrictions have been kind of going away with Ian Flynn basically being in charge of the story now.
Yeah, so they did have the potted plant in Tails Tube, which was a nice little reference. They specifically asked IDW to put some Vectilla in the comic, which I think is amazing, actually. Uh,
Yeah, good.
uh, yeah. Uh, so
Glad to see that Sega's not up their own ass with trying to sterilize Sonic anymore.
so you know, uh, it's been moving along and whatnot, but I don't think that they would do any new like figures on uh on that for Sonic
Or
X.
maybe like
But
reintroduce it in the main continuity, maybe have like a different origin for it.
shrug. We did get the Space Fighter and Metal Fighter figures, and those are all that matter. God,
Yeah, those are,
what a weird idea for those ones. Uh,
yeah, at least we got those. Those are pretty sick. They
but
referenced Robot Metal Sonic. I mean that, or Jet Fighter Metal Sonic. Like that in of itself is amazing.
it is kind of weird in that sense, though, that they didn't make like the X Tornado like a playset or something. You could have just put like the X Tornado do like a mini figure of Tails and one of Sonic, you know, or since Sonic always hung out on the wing, so like you could just have like a peg on the wing so that you could like
Yeah,
put Sonic on it, and then you get like Tails and Amy and Cream maybe.
and like the
Uh,
cockpits and like the
yeah,
two-sided cockpits.
yeah. So there was like four seats in the thing, right? So uh, you could easily have like five little minifigures come with it.
One story I want them to tell in IDW, I want them to do like basically an adaptation of the Metallics, like the Brotherhood of Metallics from the Fleetway books.
Oh, that's never gonna happen.
Like all of the Metal Sonic, so like Fighter Metal Sonic Kai, Neo Metal Sonic is like the main guy in charge of it all. You'll have like a new story with that because it seems like they're like doing interesting stuff with metal in the IDW books. But like have that and bring up like Mecha Sonic from 3 and K. Also bring back like the Scrapnik Island Mecha for like and like have him help out the heroes.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting
Um,
concept.
Silver Sonic, have like a bunch of those little like robot Sonics from like Sonic 2 8-bit. Have like a bunch of like they go out into space at one point and they have like a bunch of like rocket medals and they're like flying after them. Like a bunch of Metal Sonic clones and Metal Sonic Kai and Metal Overlord. Like that'd be sick. There'd be a lot of cool action scenes. I feel like.
Yeah, there's definitely potential there.
Who knows? Maybe I'll write a fan fiction about it. Maybe I'll actually finally write an actual fan fiction.
And I remember an idea that my brother had about a decade ago for a fan game was something where like Metal Sonic leads a bunch of like abandoned Eggman robots and stuff against Eggman, and so like so there's like basically three factions, and Metal Sonic tries to get Sonic to work together with him and stuff. I fucking love stories with like three factions and two of them are villainous.
Yes.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think like that you just you like get a scene where like
And they try to have like the enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of deal.
I love that sort of thing where like just for example like the hero's getting his ass kicked by one of the villains, and then like the villain from the other faction comes in and stops him, and the hero's like what, you know, and the other
It's like,
villain's
don't
like
get the wrong idea. I'm still gonna kick your ass, but
I'll
it's
handle
gonna
you
be me
later.
who does it.
You know, I love that sort of shit. Uh, so fun times.
Yeah, you know. They need to use they got a bunch of mechas. Oh, they should also put in the Silver Sonic Mark II or Mecha Sonic Mark III if you're in Japan. Like the one from Adventure. That'd be a cool one
Yeah.
because I know Archie used it for like an issue or two.
And
But
the IDW
you know,
crew
I
do
would
love making their references. So
yeah, very because I mean I would assume you could use that one. That is from the games.
indeed, that's like
It's very obscure, but it is from Adventure.
the Mystic Ruins base is one of Eggman's bases that he uses in those comics. So
Did you know what that specific mecha was actually based off of?
what was that?
Mecha Godzilla. That's what the decorations were based off of, like the chest piece, the finger guns,
I can see it.
the way that like the chassis was made.
The orange eyes.
It's basically a what if like a Sonic character was like a Mecha Godzilla equivalent.
Hmm. Nifty. Why did Eggman make Silver Sonic from the second 16-bit Sonic game of Cyclops? Uh,
Intimidation factor, and also because I guess he just assumed it's a radar, so it's like you only really need one eye.
yeah.
A fucking trash can with razor blades. Someone described that to me. That character, a fucking trash can with razor blades.
I love that.
Mecha Sonic's a badass though. Now he was a fucking Super Saiyan. He was fucking nuts. And
Oh
now
yeah.
reported like his eyes somewhere like it can go into his chest somehow. If I guess if his head gets blown off.
Yeah.
I can see that. Oh, that's a funny pun, son.
Tee
Son
hee
Swift.
hee.
It's a funny pun. We may not always see eye to eye, but maybe we can patch things up.
Yeah. Let's see. To be fair, Silver Sonic also had no arms and a claw that shoots out of his chest.
Well, that's a different Silver Sonic. We're talking about the Mega Drive
Yeah.
one. But yeah, no, I do love that Silver Sonic though. I always called him like Robo Sonic, whereas then he has like the little like claw catcher.
I like beating him up in Mania.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a cute little guy. I'm glad that he's been like making returns every once in a while.
Indeed.
In
Uh,
my mind, that's like the first like metal counterpart of Sonic like Eggman ever made, at least in my heart.
it's the first one that we saw. To be fair, so
Yeah,
that
like
makes
in
sense.
actual real world time, yeah. Because it's
Uh,
like, Sonic can actually beat him in the ball form.
Indeed. Uh, Fellas.
Yeah, I think we'll call it a day.
Hey, I was about to say I'm starting to feel tired. So um, here one last thing before I go. I put this on Twitter. And I'm just generally really proud of it actually. Uh, I was playing Sonic Frontiers earlier. I've started getting over the shock and sadness of
More game to
losing
play.
uh, losing my progress after originally beating the game. Uh, so I was just messing around, uh, Kronos Island, trying to, get everything together in there, and I happened upon the perfect photo opportunity. So I went into photo mode and I snapped this picture, which is a bit more complicated of a process for me. Because uh, I don't think Steam will let me use like the Xbox controller's like screenshot button, so I had to
It
use
lets me use it.
I had to do it on like well for Frontiers specifically.
Oh,
Uh,
fuck.
so I took the screenshot, I cropped the photo and whatnot, and this actually is so
That
fucking good
goes
looking.
hard. That
Uh,
actually does go hard. I'm looking
and
at it right
like
now.
I knew that if I didn't do that, that I was gonna be sorry for not doing it. So uh, yeah, just wanted to show this. I think it looks pretty cool.
Look at that. That goes really hard, actually.
Oh, thank you.
He is vengeance.
I am vengeance. I am the mid to late afternoon. uh,
The mid-toy.
so, uh, with that little picture of Sonic, you know, um, how many 3DS and DS games do you have? For me, none.
Too many.
uh, and with that said, uh, I'll see you guys soon. The next stream planned is Wednesday. Lost Leader and I are gonna get together. I want to beat one more new game before I turn 30. So
Oh.
Lost and I are gonna get together to play Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Uh,
Oh, I love that game. That game's amazing.
yeah, so that'll be on Wednesday. Uh, I don't know what time or anything like that. And then on Friday, of course, is my birthday, the 30th birthday bash. So it'll be an early Sonic Song Fun Friday stream with KN and Danny. And then we're all gonna jump over to here for a couple hours. Still don't quite know what I'm doing on my portion of things or KN's
Who
portion of
knows? I
things.
might join you.
And then after my stream, we'll jump over, or well, at least I'll jump over
Yeah.
to Vinny's stream. So uh, that's the plan. And then 902 RL, it's going to be mirror mode in All Stars Racing Transformed on Sunday, and that will be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. So that's the immediate plan for streams and stuff. And I hope that you enjoyed this one and look forward to seeing more because I'm happy to bring you more and whatnot. It's a lot
All
of
right.
fun.
See you guys later.
Yeah,
Next time
Yancey,
I see you guys on stream will probably be either the Three Knuckles race or maybe I'll hop in for a few minutes while he's doing his birthday stream and just tell him happy birthday. Maybe.
maybe. So yeah,
If I got time.
uh, that'll be it for this one. Yancey, thanks for hopping in.
No problem at all. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So until next time, guys, I have been skull902.
I've been kUko.
Thank you for watching and have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye bye, everybody.